G'day everyone. G'day lady. It is Scorchio. She's hiding from the sun. As a Cypriot rescue, she knows how to stay cool. Welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat. This will be my Knackers Yard. Yeah, it's been a while for me. It's been best part of 2 weeks actually. So that was a week away with the kids, and I timed an upload to go out while that was on, and a week away with work, which was fucking exhausting, and I am shattered and a bit hooped out as well, but yeah, it's just one of those things. I want to try and get the XJ650 engine back together today, so I want to try and get the cams on, get the cover on, and just to seal it up. I have had this covered up with a cloth so that it didn't catch too much shite. I have put the buckets in it. It's got the original shims in there. I am probably going to have to re-shim it, but the bit looking forward in the book for that is that I get the buckets hung up the right way to do exactly that. I've just noticed that scratch. I don't know where that came from. Don't think I've done that. Oh well. So I've broken out the old big book of knowledge. I do need to make a note of what size these bad boys are before I go too far within that. Oh, that's probably pointed. I shouldn't use that. I'll whip those out and let's have a look at the sizes that we've got, and then I'll get on with the book. Right, so there we go. That's from there. That's the exhaust from 4. So exhaust from 4 is 275, and that's a 260 on the inlet intake side. I've got 230s and 275s as well in my spare stock from my replacements that I've got. So right, I'll get those in and then I'll start working out what the hell I'm doing next. Right, with the dog sniffing around, still got my gift wraps. So that is the exhaust cam. Glad I wrapped it up nicely because it's all covered in crap. Oh, it's like a shitty Christmas. Do I know what's in here? I don't know which way it goes though. So let's see if we can work that out. It is either that way, which looks good to me, or it is the other way. Well, that's handy. It only fits on one way, and it's that way. And I can also see the thread for the screw drive for the what's the word? Breath counter. That's the word I was looking for. Right. Now I can't remember which way up this goes. I'm sure there is a marker for me somewhere. Right, now it does say about making sure that we are lubricated. There's the dot. So, seen in the picture, there is a dot there for the timing side, so it's that way up. Yeah, which is nice. Right, now obviously it's going to need to loop through the cam change, but I do need to apply some engine oil onto the surfaces. So I'm just pouring a little bit in a pot over the side. Have I got a little brush or something? That I did have one. Right, I'll be right back. I'm going to steal one. Here we go. An advantage of having an arts and craftsy good lady. And arts and crafty kids is there is always paintbrushes lying around routinely there are the wrong ones and I pick up the posh ones and get told off. But my view is, if you don't hide them from me, how can you expect me to know which one's which? Oops, sorry. I just bounced the camera there. It's on quite a shaky stand. Yeah, if I don't know, I don't know. Can't tell me off for that. She can. Right. Just being quite, and don't need to oil that, that's going to have a seal on it. I am being quite reasonably generous with the oil without gushing it everywhere, hopefully. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the weather if you happen to be in the UK, and if you happen to be watching this reasonably live. It is gorgeous. I've just hit the camera again, sorry. Just put that in upside down now. That chain's not going anywhere, is it? I don't need to hold it so much. I've lost my dot. Where's my dot gone? Just showing you a dot telling me which way up this goes. Now I can't find it. There it is, found it. Right, so on repeat the process and fit the rear. Okay, I may just fast forward you here. Right, I'm not being an idiot here, but there is absolutely nothing about the order that you put the cogs in. It says nowhere about actually mounting the fuckers. So let's do it logically then, shall we, boys and girls? Logically, that works. I'll leave that hung off. I'm keeping my inlet and my exhaust separate. Right, that would seem logical, which is always a dangerous place to be. On. Not quite on. On. Hold on. chain doesn't seem like it's got enough slack in it. Confusing / nicked good. Right, I'll come back. Right, I've come to a logical conclusion that I do those last, obviously, because I've got to get it all timed first, haven't I, you bell end? Right, so let's get these buggers back on. What order does it say to do it in? Yeah, I've got OI 1 and E now. They are numbered. So 1, 2, 3, because I've got the engine the wrong way round. And I need to do them bit by bit, by bit by bit. So let's, because obviously they're going to have to force the valves down to a resting position. So this could be interesting / complete fucking disaster. Put that the wrong way round, you bell end. Did have it right first time. Yeah, so it's pointing that way, so the numbering goes that way, so it goes 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got it right. Right. I don't know about you, but I'm slightly fucking terrified. Right. 1, 2, 3. I'm following the diagram. Yes, it's. Should have looked at that first. That was correct. I'm panicking for no reason. Right. So. Do you not fit? Dowels. There they are. Well, they haven't got any dowels. I've left the dowels on where there were any. No, I'm slightly concerned here. I don't appear to have dowels, and I looks like I've got places where I should have them. So it looks like there should be a dowel there. 1, 2. There's still a dowel in there because it's not come out because I couldn't get it out. And I wonder if I had them, but I've lost them. I'm going to have to go back and check videos. You know what? Fuck it. If I've not got them, I've not got them. Let's just get on with it. Right. Camshafts are drawn down easily and squared. It should be noted that in technical, one or more of the valves will be open and will tend to make assembly pull down an angle unless they're blah 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 blah. Tighten all bolts to 3.6 foot-pounds eventually. So, where's me diddy? Oh well. Until I've not been doing this for a little while because I can't find anything. I need to find my small torque wrench. That's what I was looking for, because I've got a little one that will go down to the sort of torque that I need. But that said, as ever, I now need to stop because I do need to go and pick up Little Un from her club. So that'll also give me time to find my torque wrench. Right, so I'm back with the youngest, back with my torque wrench set on as low as it can go. Now it's supposed to be 3.6 foot-pounds, which is 4.88. This starts at 5, so I just backed it off a little bit from 5. Now, obviously, he says obviously, at top dead centre, this is number 4 is down, so I'm trying to keep it as level as I can, because this side is pretty much flat. So I'm basically utterly making up the sequence just to try and keep it going down, you know, as flat, as level as Nat can, which ain't easy. Right, there we go. So that's one side down. Does it say do both? I think it does. I've just got the cam chain guide left in my bottle joint. Tighten bolts regressively, get it down squarely, final torque. So that's initial torque, and final torque 7.2 foot-pounds, which is, as it seemed a bit light, 7.2 foot-pounds, 9.7. Right, done. So that's the quarter. So trying to do it in quarters, in corners, as far as humanly possible. Right, now let's do the other side. Right, there we go. Right, once they're fully taken, make any adjustment to align the camshaft dot with the fixed index marks on cap. Number 2, flat spanners, spanner flats are for this purpose, but note, following warning before. Right, important note: when turning the camshafts, take great care to avoid levering against the cylinder head casing, which is very easily damaged. So note, if moved excessively, a valve may bend. If in doubt, stop. Right, so let's get you off there and I'll show you a before and after, and try and film during. So you are now above, and what I've got to get is, see the pointers or the markers there, is to get them as lined up as possible. So it's got a flat edge on here, so it's spanner on and move. I'm not a million miles away, but I think I've got to get that aligned before I then put the chain cogs, cam chain cogs on. So that one there, and I'm really quite close on that one, but a little bit of messing, and see how we go. Right, let's get you set up and I'll get a big spanner. Right, so that's me set up. I've realised what it means about watching the head there, because it'd be very, very easy just to twat that. Very easy indeed, and I'm going to have to keep an eye out for it. In fact, I'll do a spin. Right, that one's bangers. Thank you, Haynes. That is a very relevant warning. Some of the times you read the Haynes and think, meh, but that is bang on. You are properly close to the aluminium edge there, which isn't going to be overly forgiving, to the point where that's just at the wrong angle for me to get any meat on it. Okay, bang on. This is where perfectionist Matt fucks things up. There we go. Not that I am a perfectionist, but I wish I was. Right. Oh, wait. I've got to get more used to putting my tools away when I'm done with them, because I hate this place being in a mess. So I can't find anything. Right. That was scary. Right, now I need to read this while I work out what goes on with the chain. That pain and pleasure moment. That's the cogs mounted onto the shoulder, lined up with the bolts. I'm good to go. Can't find the fucking bolts. I was looking for the bolts. I found all the guides. So that's coming off. I'm going to put those guides back in because they go under the cam holders. Bollocks. Not going to film that. You don't want to watch me undoing my good work. It just takes some grim satisfaction with every time I do something half-assed, I seem to cock it up. And yet I still do things half-assed. Right, them off, the guide's on, back on, and hopefully then bolts will turn up. And another huge advantage of uploading your stuff onto YouTube is watching it to work out where you put the bolts. Now, I just saw myself chuck them in a box. I thought, I wonder. And it's in the one that I had labelled up as the head bolts. It's also got the cam chain sensor in there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brilliant. Right. Let's see if I can get those sorted. I'm on a really fiddly bit, so I thought I'd break you in so you could see. So the cogs ultimately go up onto, you know, we call it a shoulder, onto a shoulder there that's especially firmed and everything. Now the difficulty, I'm not sure how much I can show this, but I thought I'd try. You see daylight through that. Let me. Oh, this is really hard to film and to show, partially because it's so bright as well. I'm pointing you at. So trying to line up that hole and one of the holes in the cog is really tricky. So essentially they need to be in a nice straight line. So you then turn it half a motion, do the other one of those on the other side, turn it around again, do the same again, and torque them up properly. Now it's literally a case of try it, is it lining? No, right, whip it off, move it round the cog, try it again, and keep trying and keep trying. I'm not going to film it because you can't see a thing, frankly. It's quite tricky in this light, but that's what I'm trying to do next. Right, so memory card corruptions cocked everything up slightly, so I'm going to have to do this as a voiceover. But I've got the bolts through. You can see the, I know, housing round them, the little box round them says where they actually need to go. The bolts themselves have got hardened shoulders apparently, and the book does warn you not to use anything else. But yeah, those two with the little square shoulders you can just see around them are actually recessed in towards the centre a little bit more, so they do fit through. All the time while you're panicking that you're not going to drop it down and in. So effectively what I need to do now is just turn the engine over slowly to give me access to each one of those bolts. Beyond that, it's putting in the bridge in the middle there, the tensioner, before I start moving on to the actual cam tensioner at the back. This just fits in and basically is pushed in more than anything else. So there's no fixings for it at all. It just is pushed down by the actual chain itself. So then it's really just a case of getting everything nice and tight and fixed up, whilst I'm ad-libbing ever so slightly because it's weird doing this as a voiceover, but my video has somehow got corrupted, and the first upload of this was horrendous, absolutely horrendous audio, and I've had to re-upload what I can from my Google Drive, and there's a couple of videos missing, so I've had to rip the video off of the previous upload, mute it because all of that audio was horrendous, and then try and talk through it in something that seems to make sense. And my camera died, which didn't help either. I forgot about that. Anyway, there's the cam chain tensioner on. I've got the manual one, which I believe is better, but hey, that's the one that came on it. It was just a case of pumping it up, push it on, and undoing the bolt so it would flip back out. The big issue that I've got is the wrong gasket. It is down to the YVS, I think. I can't quite see there, but it's the wrong model. Everything else is the same, or pretty much everything else is the same. Mine has these half moon attachments ×2. And the gasket for it is flat plastic, whereas what came in the kit is a rubber one with the half moons built in. The principal bit meaning it's got the sort of squared edges, whereas I've got round edges. It also means it blanks out some of the bolt holes as well, so I can't use it. Now that leaves me with a couple of options. I can either I can either order a new gasket, which is fine, but it won't be happening this weekend. I can try and make a gasket. I do have gasket paper, but not big enough to do it in a oneer. I did look, don't really have it. Or I could use instant gasket. I've gone through too much to try that, I think, to try and get this bike up to speed. So I think what I'm going to do is just lob the lid on it, close it off, use the time to sort out the paintwork, particularly the black, because it's gone a bit crappy, and then see how it works. I have got some more, so I've got some more of the VHT black, and I've also managed to find some of the metallic as well, which I like Rocking Horse poo at the moment. I've no idea why. Well, some idea why. It's considerably better than the black. It's more hard wearing. More of that another time. But it would have been nice to get that on permanently, get it nicely closed up, and have it signed off, been done, dusted. But not to be, so I'll chuck the lid on for now. It keeps the dust out, if nothing else. I'll spend the time tidying up some of the elements that need a bit of tidying up, like that black, for example, and we'll get it going. Now, it was way too nice today to spend too long in the garage. You know, we're in high 20s temperature in the UK at the time of filming. It's time to go and throw some water balloons at children. Ideally my own, because other people tend to get upset about that sort of thing. Right, that will do me on this one. Really close to having this engine squared away. It is going to have to wait for the new gasket to arrive, which is a pisser, but that's the way these things go sometimes. Thanks very much for watching all. Cheers, and I'll catch you later. Ta-da.